Hence, do I hear any?
Commissioner Olguin, would you like to introduce your intern?
Yes, so I'd like to introduce everyone to Randall Barasa. He is a student at UTEP and he just started as an intern with our office there at El Paso County Precinct 3. So we're very excited. We love our UTEP interns that we receive every semester. Please feel free to say hello if you didn't get to say hello to him when we came in.
Welcome.
And Judge, if I may, for public comment, we weren't able to get this in the agenda prior, but I will just make the announcement under public comments. Judge Curtis Evans is going to be receiving an award from the Emergency Management Association of Texas, and that will be happening in March. And so, as you all may recall, last year, several of us attended the National Association of Development Organizations Conference in Washington, D.C. We are slated to do that again, but we will be without Judge Evans' presence because he'll be receiving his award in College Station for this event.
Nice.
So,
Thank you. I was very surprised.
and the purpose of the award is to recognize the efforts that were made by Judge Evans for his vision in terms of establishing the healthcare clinic. And so I'll make that announcement further on just to let you know how you'll have an opportunity to see that clinic in the summer. And so wanted to make that recognition. And then the other item under public comment, just as a reminder to everyone that just this week, there has been notifications made by both Congresswoman Escobar as well as Congressman Gonzalez that their community project funding is now become available. So please be aware of that. I know some of you have been interested in applying. And some of you already have and have received funding in prior years. So we definitely will be here to assist in any way that we can.
Thank you, Annette. Number 4, Finance.
Good morning, everyone. Judy Cisneros, Finance Director. I will be presenting this on behalf of Leticia Tatunjan, as you've seen on the agenda. We would like to request approval and authorization to transfer and dispose of fixed assets. There was on page 9 and 10, you can see the listing of some PSAP equipment that was recently replaced. And therefore, we're requesting to transfer some of the items to Culberson County and some to Brewster County. By you allowing us to dispose, we list them as transferred to these two entities, and therefore removing the depreciation and the cost of the assets for fiscal year 26. Any questions?
Second.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Who was? It was Mayor Webb was first,
Mayor Webb made the motion.
and then Representative second. Thank you.
All right, motion and second. Do I hear any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do you want to go to 4.1 in that?
Oh, I'm right here, sir.
Oh,
But yes.
there you are.
It's a bit too stealthy, sir. Sorry about that. So yes, 5.1, this is an informational item. I would like to just present to the board what the final outcome has been with regard to submitting a proposal to the city of El Paso for its Build Back Better Regional Challenge initiative. And so in our meeting last month, I did seek approval to submit a proposal to the city of El Paso for the COG to serve as a prime proposer. And one of the caveats was that I was instructed to provide information to a committee, which was composed of Board Trustee Leo Manani, Commissioner Jackie Butler, as well as Judge Joanna McKenzie with Hudson County. And so I did meet with these 3 individuals on February the 13th to update them on what our intentions were, and they have changed. So rather than submitting a proposal as a prime proposer, we have instead submitted the proposal as a subcontractor to El Paso Makes. And so El Paso Makes is a nonprofit organization that had been working very closely with UTEP Aerospace Center for these initiatives under the Build Back Better initiative. And they are a subsidiary of a larger organization who is working exclusively in the aerospace defense industry. And so what we think would be, and that's NCDMM, which is the National Center for Defense Manufacturing and Machining. And so what we would do is we would serve as a subcontractor to El Paso Makes to assist with task 1 and 2. And 1 and 2 is going to be where we would be identifying manufacturers to participate into the network, identifying manufacturers who would be able to sell to customers within the A&D market, as well as provide incubation and acceleration services to them as well. And so what we would be doing is we submitted an application for $188,000, and that $188,000 would cover a coordinator to serve as that primary FTE to be able to bring in the businesses. We also have $20,000 set aside for a contractor to assist us in getting the program started as soon as we get notification if we are awarded as a sub, if El Paso Makes is awarded as the prime. And then also we have a very healthy budget for this initiative for travel, upwards of 25,000, because this individual will be required to travel throughout the state of Texas, primarily West Texas, to identify those potential manufacturers that could be included in the network. And so on page 24, you can see the actual budget itself to show how we arrived at $188,425. This is an ambitious initiative on our part. I did speak with El Paso Makes to verify what would be our, in a sense, potential liability for the numbers that need to be achieved as set forth by the city of El Paso through their proposal. And in having discussions with El Paso Makes, the conversation is that the proposal has been submitted to recognize that these deliverables are going to be very difficult to achieve with a short timeline that's available with the remaining part of the grant, which is just over a year. And so El Paso Makes was very clear in their intention to say that they would with them and their subs, they would do everything they could to get to levels that were close to the measures that had been identified within the city, but to expect for the city that they would be hitting all of those numbers is not going to be realistic based on the time frame. And so I think that was an honest conversation that El Paso Makes is having within their proposal. Obviously, the city of El Paso is going to have to evaluate that to decide if that's how much of weight that's going to be in their decisions when they're scoring the proposal. I do know that it will go next month is when I believe purchasing is slated to provide the results of the scoring to city council. And so this is going to go very quickly. And so I would anticipate that if we are to be notified through El Paso Makes who receives it, then this would be up and running by May, no later than May. And so I do have a timeline for you also within the executive summary to explain how we would go about achieving that. I know that it would be, it is a little bit of a difficult task to put out a job description for someone to say that I've got a job for you. It's only for a year. And I don't know if we're going to get funded, but would you want to apply? So that is a tall order in terms of us seeking potential employees, but we're going to put that together with the intention that we are getting it. And so that way we can just go forward and not have any delays in the process. And then with regard to the contractor, we've set aside about $20,000. It's not required for us to do a request for proposals. And so we will be able to do that just through our quote process. And so that will help speed up the process as well. I'll pause here and take any questions if there are any for me.
Comment, maybe?
Yes, ma'am.
Comment, it sounds like you guys did a lot of work on this and it's really extensive. I don't have a question, but just a motion to approve.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, this one's just information.
Just information. Okay,
Just to let you know what,
well, we'll accept your information.
okay.
Should do that. Thank you. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you, Annette.
Good stuff.
All right. Now we'll move into item 6, regional services.
Actually, we'll do 5.2. I have just three more to go, Judge. So under 5.2, I do have a request, approve and authorize the Rio Grande Council governments to accept a 3-year agreement from the Texas Association of Regional Councils for the Texas Regional Broadband Program. And just a bit of information about this initiative. The State Association has been working very closely with the comptroller's broadband development office. And so they have, through that engagement, they have been able to secure $8.75 million for the state of Texas. And those funds would be used for the regional councils of governments to further broadband efforts. And so I do have Peggy O'Brien on the line with us, who's our local government manager. She'll be leading this effort. This grant is for 3 years. So I think that there was a lot of momentum that had started through for broadband as a result of the pandemic. And so this is, I think, just another example of showing you how much further we want to go with broadband and ensuring that everyone is eligible and able to utilize this utility. And so our goal for this is to ensure that we have the plan secured within our region, that the funding is identified in terms of being able to take projects to the next level. And we will be engaging with the state association, who will have a subject matter expert to loan to us. And so that person will be able to help us further with our initiatives. And so we're really excited about this. We do have I think we have a good relationship with the Borderplex Connect out of the Community Foundation with Ms. Thieras. And so I think that there's a lot of stuff that we can do that we've already been doing, that we can continue on with that. And so that is the application. Ours would be for $107,000. And that would be primarily for staff. And I know that $100,000 is a lot of money, but when you go with your staff person and your overhead and things of that nature, it is a modest amount, but I think that we can still do a lot of great work with it because we'll be able to focus on this exclusively. Are there any questions for me? Yes, ma'am.
So is it 107 total for the 3 years or
Per year.
per year?
Per year.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
The 328 or 21. And Peggy, we don't have to hire new staff. Peggy's going to be taking on.
Yes, she will, and she's been doing that under economic development, but now she'll just be able to full force.
Great.
Any further discussion?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Any nays? Motion carries unanimously. 5.3, approve and authorize the Rio Grande Council of Governments to enter into an administrative services agreement with the city of San Elizario to provide grant and construction management for the Texas Community Block Grant Program. Annette?
Yes, sir. And so I think out of everyone who's listening to this, besides Mayor Chuckwan, hopefully Commissioner Holguin, you'll be happy to see this initiative. This was the seed that started through your efforts in terms of us offering grant writing services to our communities. So we are asking to enter an agreement with the city of San Elizario to assist them in developing their application to the Texas Community Development Fund under Texas Department of Agriculture. And TDA is reserving $750,000 for San Elizario to submit the application. And so by allowing the council of governments to enter into this agreement, the COG will be able to assist San Eli with the next steps in submitting a successful application. And once the grant is awarded, we'll be able to administer. And so, TDA is taking a different approach. They used to have you submit the entire application and they would award it, they would review it as they're going through the steps. What happened last time around that we assisted San Eli with this effort is that we omitted a few homes for the survey unintentionally, but that resulted in us being ineligible. And so those monies were taken back. TDA has the situation happen to them often, so they tried a new approach. They're going to be working with the community step by step in preparing the application to ensure that that doesn't happen. So we're really excited about this possibility. I do have Mayor Chacon here as well, representing our small communities. I don't know if there's anything else he would want to add to this.
Well, Annette, more than anything, thank you very much for your assistance since day one. Since we identified this opportunity, like you just said, we submitted. You help us. Thank you to the COG and thank you to the board. If approving this agreement is gonna benefit very much our needs of infrastructure. So more than anything, I just wanna express my gratitude to the board and to you, Annette, because you were a key, the most important person for this to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Any further discussion?
Question for me.
Question?
Just to clarify, this agreement is only for this grant, specifically for this grant,
Yes, sir.
proposal, right? Okay, so what is the timeline we're looking at for, I guess, from conception to
Start
completion?
to finish. It varies. And so the grant year is usually the longest it'll take them out is 4 years. But if everything is going according to plan, it usually takes about 2.5 years to complete construction.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second this. Second.
There has been a motion and a second to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, board.
You're welcome. All right. Now we'll, let me switched on there. 5.4, receive an employment agreement presentation for the executive director to the board of directors. Annette?
Yes, sir. I first need to start off by saying that by no means do I take my job for granted and that in any way am I resting on my laurels with the agreement that I have between the Council of Governments and myself. However, with that being said, I came to the realization that my employment agreement had expired in September of 2025, September 30th. So
You're still here?
So she's been working.
She loves it so much. She works for
You've been
free.
I don't think in leadership classes, this is a bullet point that they make mention that you should do. For your agreements, but here we are. And so that is the reality of the situation. There are some councils of governments where their executive directors do not have agreements. That's their preference. I would rather not go that route, but that does happen. But what I would like to offer to you all is just in terms of explaining the situation. We do have it where it expired on September 30th of 2025. When I entered into the agreement in 2022, there were amendments to the agreement, 3 of them in terms of the salary. So you can see where my salary started in October of 2022 and where it is currently. And so what I would be asking for is if you all would allow, we would have a evaluation committee through the officers done in the 3rd week of March. And then we can present the agreement to the board in April on the 10th when we have that meeting. And just understanding that today's realities with our funding and where we stand with that, I would be asking if there would be consideration if we can keep the agreement as it is in terms of the salary. We're very, I would say that the agreement is a basic agreement in terms of employment. There's not anything in terms of additional benefits that I'm awarded or a car allowance, things of that nature. I adhere to the same policies that staff do. So it would really just be in terms of agreeing that my salary would stay where it is, and then you all would decide how many years you would want that agreement for. And so that's my proposal in terms of how we could look at this to secure an agreement between myself and you all. And so I'm ready to answer any questions if you have any. Judge? I think Representative Limon has a question.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Annette, your present salary is 129,000.
Yes, ma'am.
That's your present salary with no additional benefits.
No.
I really appreciate you stating your sense of comfort with maintaining this, but I think it's unacceptable. I think that with the high cost of living and the way that it is, I think that during the evaluation process, that there should be discussion about more current compensation for the job. You do an excellent job. You've done it for many, many years. And that would just be not a motion, but just for discussion, that when that conversation comes up, to really look at this. I know money is tight, but I think we need to compensate fully for the services that are provided to this organization.
For consideration, what would you, to 3 to 5% raise, cost of cola raise?
Well, sure.
Yes, sir.
So I totally agree with Representative Lemoyne, but I do believe that that's the conversation that the executive committee, that's why I'm not on there, should have. And then bring the recommendation back. But I truly believe in Annette does a great job, her and her team, and that I agree with Representative Lemoyne.
Okay.
And
Judge Portillo, did you have something? Judge Portillo, did you have something to say? You usually do. Okay.
We'll talk on Wednesday. You're muted.
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Now,
Yes.
no, just ditto. And I do think it's a conversation for this committee. So I look forward to, if you need someone on the committee, I'm willing to sit in on it or be a part of it. I do think we take Annette for granted because she keeps a lot of heat off of us and keeps her dots her I's and crosses her T's. So that's really it.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Oh, and so this is just.
This is
Oh, information.
Yeah, so that's what we can really discuss, an increase.
Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. Yeah, we
Please,
better.
yeah. Let's wait on that.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. 6.1, approve and authorize Rio Grande Executive Director to submit State Homeland Security Program. That,
Morning, Board of Directors.
What is that?
continue, please.
Melissa Quintanilla, Regional Services Director. Requesting approval to submit the FY 27 planning initiative, Homeland Security Planning Initiative to the Public Safety Office at the Governor's Office, Criminal Justice Division. And in the amount of 69,000. So just to give you some background, the Homeland Security Division went ahead. Podium, is that what I was told?
You can go a little bit further. We checked. And my second one, that you can still be seen.
This is it. I was given instructions that I walk away. The Governor's Office, Homeland Security Division, released the FY 27 solicitations for regular SHSP and LEPTA dollars, along with a statewide competitive national priority for election security about a week ago on the 17th of February. And so we have 30 days to submit, and all applicants across Texas have 30 days to submit applications for these under these fund sources. So traditionally, the Council of Governments does submit an application for planning initiatives, which we help our jurisdictions to go ahead and complete several documents that are required for submissions, such as our THIRA, our SPR, our implementation. We participate in tabletop exercise, full-scale exercises and planning meetings across our region. So that is the premise of this application. And it's an application that we have been applying for the last 12 years, 11 years.
I have a question.
Yes.
Will any of these funds be used to assist, collaborate, or support ICE enforcement?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Perfect. This next application submittal is also through the Homeland Security. division, and this is for our community preparedness in the amount of 59,602 with 50 cents. And this is to continue our enhancement of community preparedness through our CERT programs, our community emergency response teams, and that's across the region as well. This one, in the last couple of years, FEMA has had a national priority area for community preparedness. And so this is where we started, putting this together for our region, and we would like to continue this project for fiscal year 27.
Same question.
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Board of Directors,
Thank you, Marissa.
Sorry.
Continue.
Go ahead. Yeah, if you can announce it, please.
gotcha. So this next application is also through Homeland Security regular funds. And this application is for interoperable communications. It is for the purchase of subscriber units. Application in the amount of not to exceed 450,000. And so the First Responders Preparedness Group is the committee that oversees this fund source. And we've been tasked, the Council of Governments has been tasked by the committee to continue to seek funds where available to continue with the purchase of subscriber units. Those are your mobile radios, your handheld radios. And so they're about $10,000 per radio. And now the new requirement as of January 1st is that all radios have to be multi-band. So that means that they have to have VHF, UHF, and 800. Multi-band radios are extremely expensive, about almost 10,000, more or less. The reason the committee had asked or tasked the COG to go ahead and submit this application and identify other funding sources to continue purchasing subscriber units is because we can leverage more or a better pricing through the vendor if we submit a collective application. And that's what we have done in years past. In 25, we were also awarded monies through Homeland Security for the purchase of these subscribers. And so some jurisdictions will receive a little bit, but that's better than being competitive among each other. And so we do take those requests and say, if you are wanting to purchase, need subscribers, send us the quote so we can include it. It doesn't mean that you're going to get the whole 18 radios that you're going to need, that you're asking for, but you might get 5 or 6, which is a little bit enhancement than what you're currently having.
Question.
Sure.
Okay, I know the last time we asked for these radios, we probably asked for about 25 for Presidio County. And we received about 15, 16, whatever it may be. Are those radios still compatible with what you just mentioned? Okay.
So I need to get back with Tiffany because you did Motorola. You were one of the Motorola recipients for that. I have to see if we need to flash them. What would it take to flash them to add the 800?
Okay.
Because that's what's missing on yours. And I also need to make sure that the codes that are now being required, that they're fully in there and already programmed in your radio. If not, how much would it cost to flash to have those two new capabilities, which is much less expensive, right? And so it's less expensive to flash those radios, bring them up to compliance, than to purchase a new set and say, hey, this is, because we just purchased them in 25.
Yes, and that's what I was going to ask. Like, if we could do what you just mentioned right there versus asking for the whole radio, even if would that still qualify for those grant monies?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds.
So I'll if we are to be awarded, matter of fact, we did have that First Responders Preparedness meeting earlier this week, and the committee made a priority that interoperable communications is priority number 1, and then priority number 2 is community preparedness. So I am confident that we will be receiving monies for this initiative, and then we can circle with Motorola to see what that cost would be to flash the radios.
Okay, thank you.
Entertain a motion.
Same question.
No, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So move. Motion to approve.
Second.
To approve.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, Board of Directors, this application, fund source is actually state funding, but it is managed and administered by the Public Safety Office, Homeland Security. This application is for statewide emergency radio infrastructure and not to exceed 2 million. This fund source is not available every year. It's every other 2 years. And there's only 20 million in this fund source. And that's the reason why the state does a 2-year cycle. And this is strictly for infrastructure. We're talking about your receivers. We're talking about your consulates. We're talking about your repeaters. And so we are working with TDM, the Texas Division of Emergency Management, TxDOT, and we're going to do 2 applications. The state is going to do an application to bring in the infrastructure, the network coming in from Middle Rio Grande, from Austin into El Paso. And then our application would complement that piece of it with upgrading the infrastructure to be able to have that capability. You have the infrastructure, but if folks are still on, if your repeater is still analog and it's not digital, it's not going to help. And so we've had a series of meetings, and many of the Far East jurisdictions are the ones that are lacking that infrastructure. And so we're going to be working with some of those jurisdictions to be able to bring them up to compliance, especially Hudspeth County. Because Hudspeth County's infrastructure where the repeaters were still on analog. And so that creates a huge deficiency in communications.
Motion to
Sir?
approve.
That was,
Motion,
okay,
someone.
we got a motion. Mayor
Summer Webb.
Weber. Thank you.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve 6.4. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
So I asked 4 questions and got responses of no's on all of them, which is good. Should there be a change in any way where there is any interference by ICE, you would notify us?
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you.
Right. Let's move into number 7.
We do not have any announcements or agenda items under Area Agency on Aging.
And number 8.
Yes, under announcements, I would like to inform everyone, we'll be sending this out electronically once we confirm, but through discussion with Judge Evans, we'll be looking at having our regional meeting in July in Fort Davis. Will be hosted by Judge Evans at his community center, which is a whole, 3 months old? How old is it now?
It's actually, yes, 3 months.
Okay, so a lot of effort was made to build out the center, and there's a lot of great activities that are happening. They're going to be happening within that center. We also are looking at securing our rooms at the Indian Lodge, which is at the Davis Mountain State Park. And so that's only a mile or 2. How many
It's
miles?
about 4 miles.
Oh, too far. Okay, it's 4 miles from town. But if you all, so just put that on your radar so we can make sure we secure the rooms. It's a great facility that they have at the park, and it's been, the renovation took place, I think maybe 2-3 years ago.
And going on for 3 years, and they have finally completed it. So it's all fixed up.
And we'll look to see if we could have maybe some retreat activities, dinner the night before. And then we'll have our meeting on Friday at the community center in Fort Davis.
There is, the kitchen is open and they do like cater but they're in the restaurant. They'll provide meals
Yes,
there. So you can get with them and have a menu or order off the menu, whatever
Okay.
prefers.
I have a very important question.
You want goats?
Baby goats.
Yes, ma'am.
Will we get to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Great idea. On the menu. No. Oh. Wait.
And I apologize, I probably didn't say it. July 24th would be the board meeting.
would it be possible for Mr. Evans to secure passes to the observatory for those interested, or at least work with them, not secure them, but like
I will check.
Coordinate.
Yeah, they won't, I don't think they have their start parties in the summer.
no?
Do they have the start parties? Oh, they would, because that'd be the most time. It's the fall that they.
Mhm.
Okay, yes, I'll work
So
with
that'd be
Judge
something
Evans.
we'll work out there.
I know a guy.
You know.
That'd be cool for those of y'all that are interested
Yes.
out there. It's beautiful out there.
It is.
Mhm.
Do we
Yes.
have a date?
July 24th is
Okay.
the board meeting, but
All right.
we'll be meeting
Very good.
on the 23rd.
Yes.
All right.
Those are the announcements that I have.
Any other announcements? I will entertain a motion. We have
So
reached
moved.
the end of our.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Nobody?
Second.
I motion to adjourn in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Appreciate it.
Every person is so much more attentive to time than the formula.
He loves to fight, doesn't
You
he?
guys are just, you're so funny.
There was no second to adjourn because we're all thinking about the menu.
Right.
Baby.
That's not what I.
For $65.
You're maybe being coached.
It's gonna take money.
Else.